poi do you recommend the most? I recommend soft poi. I think, yeah, my favorite right now are either sok poi, which are we have something soft in the end, or I love the coal cord. Like when Cole first gave me a set of coal poi, it was orgasmic. It was really quite something. And so I fell in love with the coal cord right away, and that became my favorite pair of poi right away. And that's really what got me in the super duper uber looping and all that kind of stuff. So I recommend sock poi, and I recommend something soft on the end of a coal cord. Oh, and I recommend LED poi, of course. For super beginners, I recommend soft poi because it doesn't hurt. And then, LED poi is another secret. It's because if you're using glow sticks or LED poi, you can see the patterns, especially if you have a mirror or something. And then all of a sudden you start seeing all these associations. You just see what you're doing in a way that you don't regularly. So I love it. I love playing with LED poi. So I recommend that also. What was your first contact with poi? I was at a party in the Sunshine Coast, north of Vancouver, and at a dance party, up till 3 in the morning dancing, really enjoying it. Really, I love getting on the dance floor. And I go outside, I was sweaty, go outside, and there were some people spinning fire. And I'd seen it before, but I'd never seen it done well, so it had not really interested me. And I'd really been looking for something to do, because I'd been doing capoeira for a year, and it was fun, but I felt like I was only going to go so far with it, because felt like I was too old to be like the real masters. You know, I'd always want to be able to do like the backflips, but I knew I was a little old to learn that. I thought gymnastics, you can learn it when you're an adult, but not quite the way you can when you're a kid. And I saw some people playing, and some of them were good. And this one woman, I think Jenny was her name, and she was just so powerful and elegant with the fire poi, and it was just like emitting from her. And I was just watching. I thought it just looked like some kind of Jedi training device, like some kind of mind, body, soul training instrument. And it was like musical, and it was performance, and it was everything I liked. It was all in one thing, and I thought, that's it. You know, I had this really powerful experience where the sky opened up and this booming voice goes, "Nick, we're going to do poi." And I was like, okay, I'll do poi. And then 2 weeks later, I had some socks on shoelaces and was practicing. And and I've put a lot of energy into it since. But I've definitely had a very strong and instant response. And how will you remember Poland? What's what you've remembered the most? I'd say...
you can speak a little louder.
I definitely say the friends we made. I definitely remember the final night party at the festival. That will go down in history, in memory. Riding on the train with Sirik and co. A lot of special memories. And then it was really fun going to Warsaw, going back to that cool city with Sirik afterwards, and getting shown around, and that was really fun. Many highlights. Poland was great. Not being able to find the internet, that was difficult. That was hard. And some other questions. Cora wrote and asked, as long as we're at it, your vision of poi. I definitely have a vision of poi. My vision of poi is definitely seeing how poi and yoga and tai chi and these things fit together. Because I find whenever I'm training in something else, I feel much more inspired about the poi. So in Thailand, Nicholas showed up and was teaching us these qigong and sort of Chinese exercises. And a lot of it was really building sort of abdominal strength and shoulder strength. And then when I'd be playing poi, I'd really feel these new things, these new possibilities. So I'm always enjoying my practice the most when I'm also doing classes in something else. Because that's when I find the really... Because I don't... Like, poi to me is more than tricks. It's really about sort of this mind-body movement art. And I find it becomes that for me when I'm taking the other classes as well as practicing poi. And so that's really been my dream, to see how poi can really be this really special, holistic mind-body art form, which would be beautiful as like a personal yoga, as a personal practice, and I think could be really beautiful as was also taken into performance after that. So So that's, and I'm also just curious, like if those things came together, what it would look like. So yeah, I definitely have a vision.
Can you do super duper Uber loops with chain?
Yes, and we'll show you.
Annalena Hoffman asked, do you think there are limits?
Do you think someone can be limited in advanced poi spinning? Do you think there might come a point for everyone when he or she cannot get better anymore? And the answer to that, it's an incredibly good question. And it's one of those things, in life I think there's a certain way that it's really good to go at life as if there's no limits, but there's also a beauty to ultimately realizing and accepting that there are sometimes, or I think. Because if you can elegantly accept the limit, then I think that really sort of can show the beauty of your soul. I mean, that's just the way I see the world. I think it's oversimplifying things to say everything is possible. There's a certain way, I mean, it's really what it comes down to is the reality of everything is beyond anything you can imagine. And the reality of the universe is so epically unbelievable that it's hard to grasp with your mind. And on this level of reality, I think there are limits. But there's something beyond this level of reality that's unlimited. So I think it's in. I mean, with me in capoeira, I was playing capoeira and I was injuring myself. I was going at it like I went at a poi, and I was getting injured. You know, and I was doing my best, but I realized that starting at age 27 in a very gymnastic art form, that there were limitations for me. I realized that I mean, I can enjoy it and do something really beautiful with it and have a great experience with it. But I realized that I didn't think I could ever be like the Brazilian kids who started when they were 10. And so I saw a limit to that. And so, you know, I mean, is there a limit? Is there a limit to, like, I think there's a limit to how well I'll ever run a business. Or a limit to how organized I'll ever be. Like, I think I have some personal limits. And trust me, like, for as good as I am just as bad at running businesses as I am good with poi. And so I'm constantly confronting my limitations in trying to do project management. And there's a lot of things in my life that I'm, you know, like I'm sort of extreme in some ways. And so there's some things I'm really gifted and some things that I really have some limitations that I'm trying to do my best with. But it's great, you know, oh, hey, I'm really good at this, and oh, I'm really not good at this other thing. And so I'm doing both, and just looking for the balance, and trying to be fearless with everything. And so I don't know exactly how to answer the question, but yeah, I think there are limitations, but I still think it's good if we go fearlessly try to go for what we want to go for until we have to go, okay, this is a limitation, and then we go around it somehow. Something like that. But I'm open for a dialogue on the situation. And, and somebody named Nick asks, what is mastery? And mastery is being able to me, mastery is being able to think into your poi. So it's the way I imagine, like Beethoven could play the piano, or the ultimate jazz master can play jazz, which is that there is nothing between your imagination and what manifests in the world. So that what you hear in your soul, what's in your imagination, just comes into the world through your fingers or through your body or through your voice or whatever it is. And that there's no, you've removed all the limitations. You've removed the motor skill limitations. You've removed the things that get in the way. And so, when what you imagine can just manifest through you, then I think that's mastery.